You're watching WCSD from Calloway County High School.
Teachers today are finding new ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable.
Do you know anybody who has assisted living or lives in a nursing home? Hello, and welcome, Lakers, to Calloway Connections. I'm Patrick Stenquist, and here today we have Whitney Villanueva and Erin, DeLancey from Spring Creek. Hello.
Hi, Patrick.
It's nice to see you guys here, and thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Let's just go ahead and start off. What exactly is Spring Creek?
Spring Creek is a skilled nursing facility that we have here in Murray, Kentucky. We have residents that come for rehabilitation, for inpatient therapy. Sometimes they're there for 2 to maybe 6, 8 weeks. And then we also provide skilled services for long-term care. And we have a variety of programs for them and provide them with their daily needs.
Okay. I know that Spring Creek is pretty big here in Calloway, and what exactly makes you stand out in Murray?
Well, we're the only long-term care nursing facility. We have a lot of assisted livings, but we are the actual only long-term care facility in Murray.
Okay. I know that there are all types of nursing homes and retirement homes. Is there any way you would exactly classify Spring Creek as a nursing home, retirement home, or just both in general?
Both.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sure.
We call it a skilled nursing facility.
Because we have the short-term and the long-term that's kind of combined together to make up our home.
Mm-hmm. What exactly do you do at Spring Creek, y'all's jobs?
Go ahead.
I am a speech therapist at Spring Creek, so I specialize in communication disorders and swallowing disorders, and with a variety of populations. I work with residents who have had a stroke. Maybe they can't communicate with their words following their stroke. Residents who have Parkinson's disease. Most often I see people who have some form of dementia and have trouble communicating because of their confusion. And so my job is to get in there, figure out how they communicate best, and teach the staff how to communicate with them and do what I can do to help them. And then as far as swallowing, sometimes people have trouble with their swallowing, and we can change their diet or teach them exercises.
Okay.
And I'm an activity assistant. I just help with monthly program or daily programs each month for the residents. We play bingo. We take them on outings. We have music programs and just different things like that, exercise programs. And we work with our therapies in order to do both things for the residents.
Okay. I know being an activity assistant, you talked about having a project or starting up at Spring Creek.
Yes, we have a new program. It's called the Music and Memory Program, and we got this idea from, it was like a workshop that we had to do, and we watched a video called Alive Inside, and it was about a nursing home where there was a specific man that I was my favorite. He really didn't talk or didn't really do a whole lot. He just kind of sat with his head down, and the social worker, Dan Cohen, came in and introduced music to him. And when they put it on, his face lit up, and he came alive inside. And so we thought that it would be something that would be very good for our facility. So we got certified. I think there's 7 of us now, and we've incorporated this personalized music for our residents, and it has been a very big success.
So how does the music help them? Does it just give them relaxation, or does it help them remember things?
It can help in several different ways. Everyone is a little bit different. We have some who have a lot of anxiety, so we will provide them with their iPod, and it has personalized songs for them. So it might be their favorite song, or a song maybe they had on their wedding day, and we will play it for them, and a lot of times it calms them down. We have residents who have trouble with their memory, so we'll play it, give them their iPod, and then we can talk to them afterwards. They might start remembering, it might bring back some memories from maybe their childhood. It's We've had some who didn't want to come out of their rooms, and since we've introduced them to the music, they come out of their rooms and socialize with others.
Right, and even the ones that still don't want to come out of their rooms, it gives them something to do. It's some kind of stimulation. So they're not just laying there and not having anything all day long. So we have a lot that really have came alive
And some
from listening.
that don't, that weren't talking a whole lot. You can put the headphones on them and they just start singing.
Right,
And it's beautiful.
it is.
I think that sounds wonderful for the residents. Talking about the residents of Spring Creek, how has recent healthcare changes and reforms like that helped or even warranted problems with residents being able to pay for their treatment?
Well, since things have changed, we don't have as many residents in the nursing home that we had before. I don't really know a whole lot about the payments, but I know that it is harder for families to pay. And if they don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, then they're more likely to not stay long term and have to go back home and get help in home or something like that.
Okay. So if they did have a problem with, maybe someone has a problem with an older parent or someone they've grown up with that they might need help going to Spring Creek, is there any way they could help pay for it anyway?
Well, I would suggest they go to their doctor, talk to their mother or father's doctor, and go that route first, because they'll be able to have more insight on Spring Creek. And then I would suggest they call Thomas Reynolds, our admissions guy, because he'll be able to tell them a lot more about that.
Okay. Is there any advice you would give to families who have maybe an older relative or something that they're trying to find a good place, or is there any way to pick out a good place for somebody?
Well, I'm sure Erin feels the same way. Our Spring Creek is the best, we'll say that. But just call. Our number to the front office is 270-752-2900, and we can get them more information. They can come to our facility, see how it is every day. We can show them activities calendars. We can tell them about services we offer and see if Spring Creek's a good fit for their loved one.
All right, that sounds very good. Let's see. Do you have any other topics you'd like to cover?
Not right now.
No? Well, let's see. Is Spring Creek, well, I don't know how to explain it. Is it a really prominent retirement home, or is it just a smaller one, or?
It's pretty large. We can hold over 200 residents, but right now we don't have that many. We have about 130 or so. But I think one of the neatest things, especially for me, is we have, I believe, 6 or 7 residents that are 100 years old or older. Our oldest resident will be 102 in October, and I think that's really neat, because not many people can say they know
That's right.
that many centenarians.
That's right.
And also on the other end of it, we have some people that are in their 50s. So we have a broad range of ages. So then that's where we come in, where we have to figure out what to do for our oldest residents as well as our youngest.
All right. So what is it like working with the older bunch of our society? Is it interesting?
I love it,
Absolutely.
yeah. I think it's best, it's rewarding. They love us and we love them, and they make it worthwhile every day.
Well, that's great. I think that's absolutely great, because I know that sometimes working with older people can be maybe challenging,
Yes.
but I know they tell the best stories.
Yes, it
especially
is.
from the childhood.
Yes.
So, okay. Is there any specific jobs that you might work on, or anything to help the residents?
Well, we've started these comfort bags, comfort kits that we do for our residents, like that are restless or have some anxiety or different things. Maybe they have fallen, and we're
They
trying
like
to give
get
them
up and down out of their
right
chairs.
things for them to do. So what we do is we sit down with them or their families and talk to them to find specific things that they enjoy. Say they played sports when they were younger, so we want to get Sports Illustrated. We want to get a basketball. We want to do different
Right.
things to put in these bags on the back of their wheelchair, so at any time anyone can come in and get something out of their bag, and they know that it's specific to what they like. Erin has made cards that tell us resident names, their favorite foods, ice cream or whatnot. So we know that that's what they enjoy. So I think that's another thing that sets our facility, above the rest. It's because we really try to get to know the residents and
we're going towards more person-centered care.
Oh, that's great. Is there a schedule the residents go on, or is it just go about as they please throughout the day, or?
both.
It depends also if they're in therapy. If they're receiving physical therapy, occupational and speech therapy, then there's more of a schedule. So it just kind of depends. But we also have activities 2 times a day, and then their meal and everything revolves around activities and food. So that's kind of what we go by.
Yeah.
And we also have a hair salon that's inside the facility, and everyone loves to get their hair fixed. So that's an important part of their schedule
We
as
have
well.
a large number of volunteers that help a lot as well.
Yes.
Get them outside in the good weather, paint their fingernails, just spend time with them too. So without our volunteers, we wouldn't be able to do a lot of things that we do as well.
Okay, would someone here at Calloway would want to come and help out at Spring Creek. What advice would you give them to help get them there and actually help out?
Well, they could call the activities department. They could talk to Joanna Thomas. She's the director. Her number is 270-752-2947, and she would be able to get them on the right path to do some volunteer work or just come visit with someone.
Yes, and they would love that.
They love that.
And the residents love younger people coming in and visiting with them.
So I know that you guys have been working at Spring Creek for a while, and what have you learned from working with the elderly?
Oh gosh, where do you start?
Right.
I've learned a lot of life lessons. I've learned about spiritually. I've learned a lot, and I've learned that to put my family first. And I always ask people for advice when I work with them. I'll say, "What's something that you want to pass down to future generations? If you could tell somebody one thing," and most of the time they say, put work second, put your family first, focus on your family. So I've just learned so much from them, from our residents. They're wonderful. It's been a beautiful experience.
I feel the same way, and they just teach you how to love and to see the person and not the disability or the disease that they have.
Yes.
They're all special people, and they make us feel special.
Absolutely.
So.
Everybody has a background, and everybody is important and comes from something. And every resident we have is a son or a daughter or a mother, father, sister, brother, and they're all incredibly important. And so they're love.
That's very great. Thank you again for being on the show. And as always, I'm Patrick Stinquist, and thank you for tuning in to Callaway Connections.